Hello, this is reaction video number 2, which is based off of a title which is called The Job Hunt is Dead by, the woman's name was Sarah, and I'm not remembering her last name at the moment, but I found that a pretty interesting title because, and kind of ironic too, because where I live, everywhere's hiring, so when someone says the job hunt is dead, I just think, well, shouldn't someone be looking for a job, especially our age in college? But it brings up some pretty good points on how we should have like a long-term mindset, and we should be focusing on like various other factors which can help us get ahead of the game as college students and as people that want to find careers, because gotta have a career to make money. So I guess the first thing I'll talk about from the video, which there were two things that I found throughout the video which were the most interesting to me, and the first one was find your sweet spot, which is like find your interests, your strengths, your weakness. It says I think we talked about this in Leadership in Action too. You should be constantly working to find what you're good at, what you're bad at, what you can do to improve, what you can get out of your system before you get the interview or you apply, because she said in the video that the sad reality is that you can be cut from the job for just miswording something on your resume, something on your cover letter, acting a certain way, saying a certain thing, being a certain person, which is crazy, but I guess that's how it works in the business world, and it's just to give us a better sense of awareness and that like, hey, we should be thinking about those things, and we shouldn't just be going with the flow and doing whatever we want when we want. We should at least have some form of thinking. Like, if you're good with numbers, then you should work to fine-tune that. If you're bad with, I don't know, if you're bad with people, then I guess work to get better with people or avoid people altogether. And I guess my thoughts on that is that I think that's interesting, but I think it's a little weird that you can be cut just for, or eliminated from a job just because you have one little thing that's off or one little thing that just doesn't work. Like if I were applying for a job, I would want to be considered, I guess, no matter who I was. I get that there's a sense of being professional and being, I guess, an ideal person that every company wants, and there is a sense of we need the right person for the job, but like I don't feel like that should be determined based on personality and stuff like that. I feel like that should be determined based on your knowledge and stuff that you demonstrate and like on the job training and when you're actually working. The second tip of the video she talks about, I didn't really like the wording. The way I took it was that you should just be developing more sense of awareness for yourself and more, the way to put it would be you should always be thinking ahead instead of just winging it. And like, you should always be the person that's going after things. You should always be the person that's trying things. You should always be searching for a job. Like her recommendation was to get a job, not get a job, get an account on LinkedIn or Indeed, any of the business websites, and talk to people on there. Look at businesses on there that are doing good. Look at other business models. Pay attention in school. Just look at examples and ways that have already succeeded and think about how it can impact you. because as the first tip stated, you can be cut for such a small detail that I think it's actually crazy that that can even happen. And if you don't think ahead, then not only will you struggle financially, you'll also struggle. You won't have a purpose, like the last lessons and videos we talked about. Because in order to actually be successful, like the video talks about, you need to have a purpose. You need to have a reason for why you go to work every day. And if you don't, then you're probably not going to make as much progress as the people that do have those things, because it's easier to work hard when you have a motivation for something rather than not. At least that's how I view it. If I have a motivation, I'm going to put forth probably a lot more effort than I would if I didn't have a focus or motivation. I think that's, I mean, again, my reaction, I think that's another pretty good tip. I don't really think ahead too long term myself, so it's kind of a wake up call to me, but at the same time, it's hard advice to take in because it's hard for me to change my ways, but it is some pretty good advice for the future because I don't want to be stuck in a job which I hate all day. I don't think any amount of money or satisfaction or money or stress is worth what a job can offer. Like, if you don't like your job, you should find a new one. And yeah, overall the video, I think it's pretty interesting. I just think it's crazy how there's that form of discrimination in the world today, though. Like I said, yes, there is professionalism. There is the fact that we need to, keep it business-like is what I'll say, and we need to find the perfect examples, but that should not be based off of like religion, gender, personality. That should not be based off of that. That should be stuff that should be taken care of like non-professionally, not on the job. I don't feel as though that should play too big of a part into when you're trying to get hired, because I would hate to be fired just because someone told me, oh, you weren't enthusiastic, you didn't say the right thing that we were looking for. Like, sorry that I wasn't thinking of the right thing at the time, but I don't know, I would feel really bad if I got fired just because of that one thing, but I was like one of the best candidates for the job and I simply didn't get it because of that. But overall, pretty good video with some pretty good tips.